Hey guys, this is Holly with Vintage Arts, and I'm live today with this beautiful piece of furniture I've been working on. It's a custom piece for quite probably my favorite customer because her style is really my style, and I get to do the most creative, most fun pieces for her. And I get the pleasure of doing it in her home, which is beautifully decorated. I mean, it's stunningly decorated. So, and she always leaves little treats out for me, which I really enjoy. So today I wanted to take the opportunity to let you in on the final step. I am doing the waxing stage of furniture painting with Annie Sloan chalk paint. And the reason I wax is because this chalk paint is chalk based. So it's like talcum powder. It's really, really, really matte, which means it's going to absorb any greasy fingerprints, peanut butter fingers, even a spill of a glass of wine if it sprays up during a really raucous dinner party. So the wax, I want to just sit down here quickly and tell you a little bit about the wax. So the wax is a product that's made by Annie Sloan chalk paint out of Oxford, UK. She's the one who originally made chalk paint. So it's the real deal chalk paint, no latex. It's a fantastic product. And the wax, people are always afraid to wax. It's what I hear the most anyways. But the wax is a really beautiful, soft product. And if you look in the can, you can see it's almost like a Vaseline consistency. It's super soft. It's soft wax, like a shoe polish. So, and you just simply rub it onto your piece. I mean, it's really that easy. But there's a trick to this, and that involves a brush and a soft cloth. And I'm going to show you the 3 steps to getting a beautiful finish with wax. So here I go. So this side is done, and this side right here is not. And you can't see a difference, can you? So I'm going to show you how to achieve a wax finish where you're not going to see a difference, because you shouldn't, especially with this clear wax. It is available in some colors for some artistic finishes, but for today, we're going to preserve the finish with the clear wax so that we don't get any color changes. So this brush is designed to be used with the Annie Sloan wax, chalk paint wax. And the reason for it is that it's designed to be abused. So I'm going to pick up some wax on my brush, and girls and boys, don't be afraid to pick up lots of wax. You're going to use it. Don't be shy. The worst thing that you can do is apply too much, and guess what? We're going to take it off anyways. So I want you to, first step is to take that brush and paint that wax on. So go ahead and just paint it on. A lot of people think that, you know, because this is a top coat, that you're simply just going to paint it on and leave it. And this is the biggest mistake that beginners, and I've even seen some master painters make this mistake. So paint it on and get it all in those crevices, really work it in. Now don't be afraid to abuse this brush. It's meant to be abused. Really push it into those cracks. Okay, you don't want to leave any spot without wax, because should there be a spill or dirty fingerprints, that's the spot that's going to, of course, be hit. Murphy's Law, right? So if you zoom in here, you can see wax on the surface. All these little bumps, this is all wax. And when I hit it with my finger, it's warming up and softening. Okay, so this actually feels quite oily, quite waxy, and we don't want it to have a waxy residue on top. The whole point of waxing is not to put a wax film on the surface. It's to drive it into the paint. Remember, the paint is absorbent. So if you put anything oily on it, it's going to want to drink it up. So we want the paint to drink up this wax. So we're going to help it along. We're going to drive it in. And I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to set the camera down. And I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. So I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to abuse your brush. This is your opportunity to be the boss. And if you're not normally bossy, I want you to put on bossy boots and go to town. I want you to splay your brush. Okay, do you see how I have that brush? It's completely splayed. This is how I like to drive the paint in. And the brush is designed to be held like this. It's ergonomically designed to be splayed so that I can drive the wax into the paint. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I haven't added any wax to my brush at all. So I'm not adding wax, I'm actually taking it off, but driving it in. So driving it in and removing anything else that's excess on that surface. So what I end up with is this beautiful, soft surface that still feels a little bit waxy, but much less waxy than when I'd simply just painted it on. Now that was step 2. So step 1, paint it on. Okay, step 2, drive it in. Step 3, you want to take a soft cloth, and that could be a paper towel for convenience, an old t-shirt, or even an old sock, because you can get your hand in there and really get a good grab on it, and just simply buff it off. So any remaining wax on that surface, you want to buff that off. Now, many of my clients have seen videos that say you should put on a second coat of wax. I'm going to leave this up to you. I do not put on a second coat of wax, and the reason is because I have just spent the better part of a minute rubbing it all off for the camera. So I don't really want to spend more time putting on another coat of wax when I've spent all that time rubbing the product off. I know the wax is in there. I know I've driven it into the paint. I know that this is beautifully sealed. I haven't had a problem with any of my wax seals. Now, if you guys were here and you touched that, it would feel dry. You would never know that I had recently waxed it. It's not sticky. It's absolutely beautiful. And when I pull back and look at these 2 panels on this piece, you can see that you cannot see a difference between the 2. You cannot see a difference between the rest of the piece. And that's the way it should be. It's really easy. So don't be intimidated by waxing your piece. And if you are, come take a class with me at Vintage Arts. We teach all techniques. You can even bring a piece in and we'll paint together. I'll even buy you lunch, a coffee, or a glass of wine, and we'll have a lot of fun. We're going to learn something. I hope that helped you guys gain some confidence with waxing. Remember, 3 steps, but you have to put on your bossy boots first. 1, paint on your wax. 2, drive it in. And 3, wipe it all back or buff it with a soft cloth. Enjoy. Happy painting, guys. That's it from Vintage Arts.